Did I read that correctly? More like my infinity is too much of a fucking pain in the ass, so my opponent had to literally switch characters. This fight was literally just a demonstration of how this guy is literally nothing without his infinity. His infinity is the only reason why this fight lasted as long as it did. It's not because Gojo is too strong. As soon as that shit wasn't a factor anymore, he got one-shotted by Sukuna. For some reason...
Now, it's for reasons like this we power scalers get a bad rap. Because our TikTok counterparts are just fucking stupid and have the worst takes known to man. Like this guy, for example. I've been seeing some of this guy's content here and there. Not really giving a fuck about any of his takes because I don't care. But I just thought, hey, I'm a JJK YouTuber, so let me respond to this. Since without confidently he's talking here, I'm sorry, he's not actually talking, he's just running some text through some AI speech generator. But even with that, you would think anything he says would at least make a little bit of sense, but it doesn't. Now right here, he claims that Gojo is nothing without his infinity, and the moment he was no longer a factor in the fight against Sukuna, Gojo died. Yes, that would be true if you forget the whole domain clash they had. If you remember, Gojo didn't have his infinity and was practically brushing off Sukuna's slashes. But of course you won't mention that.
For some reason, a lot of...
Unless it's 19 fingers Sukuna. Or... yeah, unless it's 19 fingers Sukuna. So yeah, I don't know what are you saying, but... bro, that Sukuna is 19 finger, not a 20 finger Sukuna.
People think this fight was unfair because Sukuna had the 10 shadows. So are we just gonna ignore how Sukuna couldn't use 99% of his arsenal and could only damage Gojo through the guaranteed hit of his domain?
What the fuck? What do you mean he couldn't use 98% of his arsenal? What arsenal? Sukuna has cleave, dismantled the 10 shadows, and that's it. You can't really bring in Furnace because in the recent chapter, Sukuna outright admits that Furnace would never have worked on Gojo. Bro said 99% of his arsenal.
What the hell are you saying about Gojo Infin? His slash! Did you even read the chapter when they where they go and slash him? Sukuna domain expansion literally cut through Gojo domains. So yeah, I don't know what are you saying.
The fuck? Sukuna chickened out and stopped using his own technique in favor of the 10 shadows the moment he saw his technique wasn't working, even within his domain. And I just want to say for the record, Gojo outright confirms that his technique is better than Sukuna's, but...
Even with the 10 shadows, the only...
What the hell? Did you forget that word cutting dismantle is also Sukuna? It's Sukuna do. Did you forget that Sukuna word cutting slash is already there? It's already in Sukuna arsenal. If you're saying that it was created by Mahoraga, then you literally don't see what chapter 236 do say. It say that he needs to know how to defeat Gojo with his infinity. So I don't know what are you saying.
The useful one was Mahoraga. So this fight was essentially Sukuna with nothing to rely on but Mahoraga versus...
So you just admitted Sukuna was fodder against Gojo? Okay. You just...
Sukuna 90 finger is fodder, not 20 finger.
outright admitted that Sukuna could only rely on Mahoraga to beat Gojo, as Sukuna himself admits.
Gojo at full power and all of his tech...
Okay. You just outright admitted that Sukuna could only rely on Mahoraga to beat Gojo, as Sukuna himself.
Okay, let's see. Something that's don't party so impossible. So you literally don't know that Sukuna can just. Did you know binding foul is? Yeah, Sukuna using binding foul to make to make to make word cutting slash to make word cutting slash go through Gojo, because in chapter 237 we literally saw how Sukuna word cutting slash work. It needs some words to be activated.
Admits.
Gojo at full power in all of his techniques, and despite Gojo having every advantage in the world, he still lost, which is fraudulent and embarrassing on his part if anything. Half of this fight was Sukuna just testing the waters of the 10 Shadows technique and didn't take the fight seriously until he
First of all, Sukuna was also at full power during the fight, and couldn't.
No. Sukuna was just testing how he can slash the Gojo Infinity. He analyzed, not he analyzed it, not and you don't need at full power to analyze how to break Gojo Infinity.
Put Gojo down, even inside his own domain. That's the fraudulent activity. The moment Gojo got Sukuna in his domain, it was wrapped, and Sukuna had to rely on Mahoraga to escape, like a fraud.
Bro, did you know that when Gojo said my students are watching, he just manipulate every student that was watching to he just manipulate the student. He manipulate the student, every student that watched Gojo and versus Sukuna fight to literally slash to Sukuna. It was smart, and Gojo weakness is saying that my students are watching. If he doesn't say to Sukuna, my students are watching, then he wouldn't manipulate it to be as weak as father is. That's why Sukuna is a genius, stated by Kenjaku.
And second, the fuck did you mean Sukuna was testing the waters of the 10 Shadows technique? And only got serious when he pulled out Mahoraga. He must have been going serious from the beginning of the fight because he only used Mahoraga. The fuck?
Mahoraga. So you should probably change the caption of the video to "My infinity is so broken that my opponent couldn't use most of his techniques and I still lost."
Legit, TikTok power scalers are just something else. Bro contradicted himself at every single point throughout the video and thought he still made sense. Sadly, I can't post this on my official TikTok account because, well, I don't have access to it anymore. But if y'all want to send this to him on any capacity, I don't really care. I'll slam him in any debate. It's not really a competition. But yeah, the Gojo downplay is kind of crazy. Even though both of them were on equal footing, Sukuna was able to disable Infinite, still couldn't kill Gojo within his own domain, lost their final domain clash, nearly died within Gojo's domain and only escaped because of Megumi's technique. Gojo was embarrassing Sukuna in hand-to-hand combat the entire fight. Gojo outright says his technique was better than Sukuna's, and Sukuna himself states that the only reason he got the 10 shadows was so he could use Mahoraga to bypass Infinity, which he could not do himself. But yeah.
Did you read chapter 236 that Gojo said that Gojo admits that Sukuna wasn't trying seriously? So yeah, I don't know what are you talking about.
Remember to smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, keep it fizzy.